Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something I really do appreciate about the game at the moment, because as you can see here, I'm finally able to farm a lot the classic arena, and I have a lot of win rate, and this is mainly because the meta is evolving every time, and so the more it's evolving, the more the compositions you have to beat enemies, to beat other players in arena, and this is really interesting. I'm gonna show you the team I am using here, okay? This is really interesting because I think you can replace some heroes inside and it's still gonna work. So let's have a look to the team I am using. I'm talking about that team right here. So I have two limited heroes inside. I'm using Nicholas and I'm using Esther. The main reason for what I'm using Esther is because she can bring to my Nita here a blue inspiration. And so if she got controlled by a Lydia in front of me, then she will be immune to the imprisonment, and so she will be able to get the turn meta increase from Esther and to nuke the team in front of me. There is also that Popper now. This is just so freaking great to have him finally in my team, because technically if you have a Lydia in front of you, it doesn't really matter because you have Popper. He's going to reduce the turn meta of enemies, and so it's going to be way better, because if you have a space, you won't be able to increase the turn meta of your heroes if they are imprisoned by a Lydia. You have also a Sindo, but a Sindo is not that great today because you have a Pauline in front of you in most of the teams in PvP, and when you try to lower the turn meta of enemies, you also apply a silence, and this is considered as a control, and so Pauline is increasing his own turn meta and the turn meta of the entire team, and he cleanses enemies, and he is applying the resistance buff on everyone. So it's pretty hard to use the Sindo today. But Popper, if you have him, and if you want to push some content in PvP, or if you want to be stronger for your guild in Guild Arena, you have to build Popper and to put some exclusives on him until he is exclusive 3, because he is just completely amazing with the exclusive 3. He's gonna lower the turn meta of enemies by 24% on his ultimate. Without the exclusive 3, he won't lower the turn meta. So it's pretty interesting to have him exclusive 3. Then I'm using Nicholas. But it's mainly because if I encounter another Nita, I want to control her. I'm not forced to use Nicholas, in fact. I could bring another hero. I could use a Rister in that team, so I would have more damage on her, and Rister can still stun Nita, so it's still gonna work. But I'm using him. In fact, you can replace also that hero here. You can put a Rister here, and you can put a Pauline without any exclusive. It's still gonna work. Maybe it's not gonna be that efficient if you encounter another Nita here, but still it's gonna be really interesting, and I do appreciate this kind of content now. Something else, there is so many different teams you can encounter in Advanced Arena today. This is really exciting. This is better to play Advanced Arena today, because I'm gonna show you the teams I'm using, okay? This is my defense, and you are gonna say, yeah, you have all the limited heroes inside. Yeah, I have the majority of the limited heroes in one team only. I have another one here, but as I said on my previous video, you don't need exclusives on her. She is great without any exclusive, and it's not gonna change anything to your team, or almost anything, in fact. Here I'm using these two heroes, and you are gonna say that, yeah, Little Jack is amazing, he is limited, etc. Of course he is, but you are not forced to use him, and you're not forced to use Ogradis. Ogradis is interesting, okay, because she is damaging enemies over time, and she deals a lot of damage on the ultimate, and she increases the burn damage of my heroes. But in fact, if you have Anna, you can replace them by Anna, and also use maybe Barry. It's gonna do the same. She is increasing the burn damage of my team, dealing a huge amount of damage on the ultimate, and Barry is nuking very hard. So in fact, you can use that, and it is gonna work. If you don't want to go with some burns, you can use that hero, and you can put a Bizidon inside, and this team is gonna nuke the entire team if you have the exclusive 3 on Bull. So you have so many solutions today. If you don't have that hero, you can replace her and you can put someone else, maybe that hero instead. So she's gonna apply the ally protection and tank for your team. You can use Morville to prevent your heroes from losing their buffs. There are so many solutions. Tell me in the comment below what teams are you using. Also, if you don't have Little Jack, you can put Nereid, because she's gonna increase the damage you're gonna do, dot damage and direct damage. So she is interesting, and also she can apply some interesting controls on enemies with the first active skill. So she is really interesting too. And I know that there are so many teams that are gonna be efficient. Imagine here I'm using Ben Austin. If I'm using AhkTaar, Ben Austin with the pursuit is going to increase the turn meter of AhkTaar. AhkTaar is going to take a turn and he's going to be able to control enemies, which is pretty strong. Or to lower the defense and the tenacity. If you don't have Popper, if you have other heroes, he's going to do that on the ultimate, and maybe you can nuke using another hero. If you don't have Bull, if you don't have them, you can use Belton. He's going to do the same. Or maybe you can use the limited heroes you have in your teams in order to bring more to your team. For example, if you have Pauline without any exclusive, he is still gonna be interesting. Put a lot of speed on him, and so if you take a control on your team, he is gonna cleanse your team. But he's gonna be better in this kind of team if you don't have any exclusive on him. So if your other heroes are slower than him, then he is always gonna play before. If you have a space and if you don't have the exclusive 2 minimum, it's gonna be hard for him to play before them. You have so many heroes. You have that hero. If you don't have her, you can put that hero instead. And he is going to provide an extra shield to heroes if they take too much damage, so you're going to be more tanky. And also he is going to tank for your heroes, applying the taunt and the immortal on himself, increasing the speed of your heroes by 40%, and then it's also going to be a great team. You can use a Seth to protect your heroes. He does a great job for that. You can use some kind of speed teams using Gohanna. It's still working today. You still have Ruin. Ruin here is a great hero, lowering the turn meter by 30% and stunning enemies. He is such an amazing hero. He can steal 50% of the turn meter of one enemy using the first active skill. He is amazing for that. And I'm pretty sure that even today you can replace that and put a Whim. Because if you have a ton of HP on Whim, he's gonna protect a lot your heroes. I'm gonna try many things, and also Ross can be really interesting too. In a team, if you are taking a damage on your heroes, if you can tank, for example, Imagine I was using that, he's gonna get more turn meter, and then he's gonna give more 60% turn meter to your strongest attacker, and giving that attacker an attack buff, and it's gonna be strong. You know what? There are many combos that are great. For example, imagine using Nordak with Kaido here. Kaido with his passive is giving 18% more shielded effect on your entire team and the same amount of healed effect. That means they are going to receive stronger shields, stronger heals, and have more resistance, because he's giving to your team 15% more resistance. So it can be really, really strong. You have also Dustin. Dustin is doing almost the same as Catherine, but he is an epic hero. When he plays, he is gonna remove controls on two of your heroes, which can be really, really interesting. You have Greta. Greta is nuking hard. You know that if you are playing a lot in PvE, also in dungeons, Growland 36, for example. I don't know if you tried that, but there is a Greta, and Greta is such an annoying hero. In fact, she can just one-shot your heroes. Sadly, she does only one stage of damage, and so if there is a Nicholas in front of you, you want to one-shot the hero, but it's still a great hero, and it's a nightmare to control her. And in fact, you have so many options in PvP today. And this is what I love about the game. If you have a look again to my fights, 24 on 27. Using the team I showed to you. And it's working because most of the defenses today are using all the limited heroes inside. But there is almost nobody using turn meter increase. And so you are almost sure to have the first action and to nuke them hard and to beat them. And this is fun. Because having all the limited heroes give you a big advantage. But you can still use heroes to counter these kind of teams. And this is what I love about Infinite Magicraid. Even if most of the time it's really hard to find the good teams, and I'm pretty sure that in Advanced Arena here or in the Guild War, you are struggling a lot to find a great team. And I spend hours, some days, hours on my teams, trying different teams. I'm gonna show that to you. Here, as you can see, I'm trying to beat the strongest players in the game. And I'm spending so many time doing that, trying teams, trying the best I can do, and then I find a good team, and it's working. But it's interesting to do that. Of course, I'm spending some tickets for nothing. I'm losing points, but at the end of the day, this is a game, and it is fun to try things and improve your teams, right? So tell me, what are you using in PvP at the moment? I'm pretty curious to see. Maybe you are using something completely original, and maybe it can be interesting for me if you are telling me that. Maybe I can show that to others. I don't know. It can be really interesting. I'm curious, so tell me that in a comment below. Hope you have a nice day, and see you soon. Bye-bye.